All right, so around 2000, you got your club going, but you're asked to provide some narcotics
Yeah.
for a person that we haven't even mentioned yet.
Right.
But Mob James
Yeah.
eventually confronts you and asks you for some dope.
Nah, he didn't confront me, you know what I mean? Because I'd have told him, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You wasn't a drug dealer, you wasn't a, get the fuck out of here. You couldn't get shit from me. You know what I mean? So he never got at me like that personally, you know what I mean? Because I was who I was on the east side and because of my gang ties and my drug ties, when they initially came, this was pretty much in my paperwork, is when they came to investigate Suge's neighborhood of who's supplying the drugs and shit like that, it wasn't Suge. You know what I mean? So eventually, you know, my name was at the forefront of the situation, you know. So the homies going to jail, going to the feds for other shit, you know, they was hitting me, saying, you know, hitting people, say, hey, tell the homie, tell FG that feds asking about him, homie. You know what I mean? But at the same time, at this time, I don't even supply drugs in the neighborhood no more. You know what I mean? I got business, I'm doing other shit, you know what I mean? But I got a call from one of Mob James' close friends, which is a close friend of mine as well, that we sold drugs for years on a lower level. I got a call from him.
We're talking about a brother named Drew. Droshaun Owens.
No doubt.
For those who are looking at the paperwork.
Yeah, so Drew gave me a call and said, yo, hey, F, you know what I mean? I need your help. You know what I mean? And for Drew, man, I bend over backwards for him, you know what I mean? And he told me the situation. I said, I got you. You know what I mean? I said, well, listen, homie, when I come through, just make sure ain't nobody there. You know, I don't got this shit, but I'm gonna go out my way to go get this shit from somebody to help you out, homie. You know what I mean? And make sure ain't nobody there when I get there.
Now, how many times in the past has Drew asked you for some work for Mob James?
Never.
Never.
Drew ain't asked me for no work like that, probably ever. You know what I mean? You know, when Drew was getting work, you know, he was getting a lower level. Drew was a lower level dude, not trying to, good dude, you know, love him to death, but he wasn't on that level, you know what I mean? But at the same time, at some point, everybody graduating the game, you know what I mean?
So he had never asked for 4 ounces before?
He ain't never asked for 4.5 ever.
Did it kind of, did a red flag go in your head at all? But as you just said, you know, maybe he's coming up now.
Yeah, nah, Drew was solid to me, you know what I mean? And like I say, I was on a lower level for many years, you know what I mean? And I fucked with them. Even when I provided for the hood, you know, I fucked with them. You know, we shit for years, you know what I mean? Was solid. So I didn't think nothing of it this time, you know what I mean?
Okay, so this is now June of 2000.
June of 2000.
I believe June 13th.
June 13th, never forget it. Yeah, I won't forget it, yeah.
So June 13th, you pull up at a house on Pine.
Yeah.
And tell me who's there.
Well, the thing about it, when I pull up, like I mentioned, I told the homie, don't have nobody there. You know what I mean? So when I get there, I jump out the truck and shit. And, you know, of course, we always do the look around, you know, but I ain't looking for police. I'm looking for, you making sure there ain't no Crips and nothing coming through here, no homies peeking at what I'm doing. So I motherfucker jump out the truck and slide up in the house. As soon as I jump out the motherfucker truck, Mob James jump out of a gray Stratus. You know what I mean? And so I double look like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I try to get in the house before Mob James get in there because I don't fuck with dude, you know, and I thought he might have just been stopping by or something, you know. And this dude was a cold informant, homie, for the FBI.
Now, in that gray Stratus, did you notice another guy in the car with Mob James?
I didn't until he asked the dude to get out the car. You know what I mean?
And the guy that gets out the car, for those reading the paperwork, is a Special Agent FBI Wade Lee.
Yeah.
So walk me through what happens this day.
Well, what happened this day is, like I said, I jump out and shit. I jumped out with powder. You know what I mean? So I jump out the car and shit. I'm gonna get a homie powder for him to do his thing. You know what I mean? And when I jump out the truck, Mob James jump out of a gray Stratus. So when he jump out the Stratus and shit, I look, double look, so bam, I get ready to smash in the house so I can really get this shit out of my hand. I didn't even want Mob to know what I'm doing, because at this time, I really don't fuck around like this no more.
Now, at this time, how long have you known Mob James, and what was your relationship with him?
Man, I've been knowing Mob James your whole career. You know what I mean? Mob James was a household name when we was growing up. You know what I mean? This was Buntry and Timmy Rue, big brother. You know what I mean? And even though, like I say, all my career, especially when I got older, I ain't gonna lie, I always respected Buntry and Timmy more, but Mob James is a lot older than me. Mob James might be 8, 9 years older than me. So you gotta think, when I was fucking, 11, he was 20, you know, so we didn't have a relationship like that, but I seen him my whole career. I mean, you know, I know who he is, he know the fuck I am, you know, but we never had a relationship. He didn't hustle, he didn't, you know, we didn't fuck with no bras together, you know what I mean, none of this type of shit, you know what I mean, he just was a mob pyro, loud, you know what I mean, and like I said, I ain't taking nothing from his gangster, what it was, but I take everything from him right now, though, nigga, you ain't that, you's a rat, you know what I mean?
Okay, so he jumps out this Stratus,
Yeah.
and what are you thinking at that time?
Really, I'm thinking I just didn't want him in my business. In 100 years, I wouldn't have never think he was wired for the FBI.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.